Every kingdom has its jester, every myth is mischievous god, and every psyche hides a voice that whispers, "Are you sure?" That voice is the trickster, the boundary breaker, the fool, the shapeshifter who mocks the rules we cling to. He is not evil, though he often appears dangerous. He's the energy that shakes the tower, that flips the script and forces transformation through disorder. Welcome back to the Re-Entry Archive. Tonight, we meet the Trickster archetype. We explore his light, his shadow, and the way he moves through psychedelic experience. Because sometimes the path to awakening begins with a laugh in the dark. The Trickster is the archetype of disruption and renewal. Where the king builds structure, the trickster tears it down. He represents the liminal zone, the space between worlds where rules no longer apply. Across cultures, he wears many masks: Loki, Hermes, Coyote, Ishu, Raven, and the Fool in the tarot cards. Each one is a messenger between realms, a wanderer who blurs the line between divine and profane. Psychologically, the trickster is the impulse towards freedom within you, that part that refuses to be domesticated by expectation. He is creativity breaking through rigidity, humour dissolving shame, and spontaneity challenging order. He is also that inner child that never quite stops asking why. When you suppress him, life becomes brittle. But when you invite him, consciously, he keeps your ego flexible, a reminder that everything sacred began as play. Every liberator, however, has a dark twin. The trickster's shadow is chaos without wisdom, and rebellion without compassion. Unintegrated, he becomes the saboteur, the part of you that ruins what you love, just to prove it can. He's the sarcastic voice that cuts too deep, the impulse that burns bridges for the thrill of the spark. In psychological terms, he's the ego's last defense against transformation, mocking what it fears to feel. In myth, this is Loki unleashing Ragnarok, Coyote stealing fire and accidentally scorching the world, or the Fool laughing as he walks off the cliff. In daily life, it's self-sabotage, addiction, cynicism, a refusal to grow. The energy of the trickster turned inward becomes a storm of clever excuses. Integration means learning to laugh with the trickster, not at yourself, to channel his chaos as insight rather than destruction, because the same energy that breaks things apart can also liberate what's trapped inside. Few archetypes show up more vividly in the psychedelic realm than the trickster. He arrives as cosmic humour, absurdity, or the sudden sense that the universe is one private joke. In high-dose experiences, he may appear as a laughing entity, a jesting voice, or reality itself folding into a parody. One moment you believe you've uncovered the ultimate truth, the next, the trickster pulls the rug. Did you really think you could understand infinity? He's the laughter that erupts when you realise how seriously you've been taking everything, even enlightenment. This humour isn't cruelty, it's mercy through paradox. The trickster tears down your certainty so something more honest can take its place. In deep psychedelic initiations, the trickster often acts as a psychopomp, guiding you through chaos by forcing you to stop clinging. He may turn your sacred ritual into a circus, your meditation into slapstick, and your ego death into a cosmic comedy. If the king is order and the shadow is fear, the trickster is the medicine that looses the knot between them. He breaks the illusion that spirituality must be solemn, because laughter too is a form of surrender. The trickster's purpose is not to humiliate you, it's to liberate you from rigidity. He shows that truth hides inside contradiction, that sacred and profane are two sides of the same coin. His first lesson is don't cling to form. Every system, even your beliefs about healing, transcendence, becomes a cage when taken too seriously. His second lesson, embrace paradox. You can be both the seeker and the fool, both wise and ridiculous, divine and absurd. To walk the trickster's path is to accept that growth doesn't always look noble. Sometimes it looks like stumbling, laughing, realizing you were wrong. His third lesson is to use humour as alchemy. When you can laugh at your own shadow, shame loses its grip. Humour turns pain into perspective and chaos into creativity. In integration work, this means meeting your own absurdity with compassion, noticing where you pretend to be enlightened and letting yourself laugh about it. Because laughter breaks spells faster than self-analysis. So how do we integrate the trickster after a psychedelic encounter? Firstly, we cultivate playful awareness. Take your insights seriously, but not too seriously. Keep a sense of humour about your spiritual journey. Write about your revelations, but leave room for irony. Remember, the universe rarely explains itself straight. Secondly, allow creative disorder. The trickster thrives in art, movement, and experimentation. Paint without planning, speak in riddles, rearrange your routine. Controlled chaos is the forge where old patterns melt. Thirdly, watch your mischief. Notice when humour hides discomfort or superiority. The trickster's gift turns to poison when used to avoid vulnerability. Practice joking towards connection, not away from it. Fourthly, learn to pivot. When life upends your plans, channel the trickster's flexibility. Ask, what if this is part of the game? Resilience often begins as absurdity. Finally, balance him with the king. The trickster without the king is anarchy. The king without the trickster is tyranny. Together, they form creative order, structure that breathes, and freedom that respects boundaries. When integrated, the trickster becomes your inner ally, the one who reminds you that enlightenment without laughter is just another ego mask. So in conclusion, the trickster is not the enemy of spirituality. He is its wild protector. He tears down false idols He mocks pretension and turns tragedy into comedy. He is the eternal reminder that life itself is a divine joke, not cruel, but cosmic, infinite in its irony and grace. To live with the trickster, awake in you, is to dance with uncertainty, to laugh in the middle of the storm, and to know that the universe is laughing with you. Because somewhere behind every collapse, every revelation, every breakthrough, there's a grin wide as creation itself. When the gods wish to teach you, they begin by making you laugh.